Allow me to introduce to you the Belgian Strong Pale Ale. This is a style that has been around for a while, at least 100 years, although I'm not sure which brewery first created it. However, this, Duvel, is considered a benchmark of the style. And I got this at Total Wine, and it cost around $17 for four of these, a 4-pack of these. These are 11.2 ounces or 330 milliliters. And I was thinking about getting another one called Delirium. But it was even more expensive at over $20. So, and I decided to do Belgian Pale Strong Ales because of this. Cigar City Cosmic Crown. As I was looking up at Cigar City beers, seeing if there were any available at my local store that I haven't tried, I found this one. And I saw that it was a Belgian Strong Pale Ale. So I started looking for other Belgian Strong Pale Ales to compare it with. And I found this, as well as Delirium. And there was another one called Pirat, P-I-R-A-A-T. Now, who makes the best beer? If you go to beer videos and beer sites, anywhere where there's commenters relating to beer, you're going to see several comments saying, yeah, Germany makes the best beer, or Czech Republic makes the best beer, or Belgium makes the best beer. Well, I don't know who makes the best beer, but I do know that I like the lagers, the pale lagers out of Germany very much, and out of Czechia, the Czech Republic. I also found out that I've been pronouncing that wrong. I thought it was Czechia, but actually the CH is hard in that, so it's Czechia. Anyway, as far as pale lagers go, I think Germany and Czechia make the best pale lagers. But as far as ales go, and Trappist ales, Belgium might be up there, might be among the best, or might be the best. Of course, England has its ales as well. English ales are pretty good. Let's see. You also have your stouts and porters, which I think originated in England. So an English stout or porter might be the best. Of course, there's Ireland has Guinness. But anyway, let's get back to these beers. Now you know why I'm doing these beers. This beer, Duvel, is rated a 94, which is very good, or maybe even an outstanding or the world-class category on Beer Advocate. This is rated at 90. So I think the style is pretty popular. This has 8.5 ABV. And this has 9% ABV. So the Belgian Strong Pale Ale are quite strong. Almost twice as strong as a regular Budweiser, and maybe twice as strong as a Pilsner Urquell, which has 4.4. Now, I was going to do this blind, but as you can see, this Duvel is highly carbonated and produced one hell of a head of foam on there, and there's no way that I'm going to be able to do this without knowing which is which. Plus, the first thing I noticed when I opened this was the aroma. This one has some kind of maybe almost tropical fruit type of aroma coming out of it. I read that it uses galaxy hops to impart a passion fruit and peach qualities of ripe fruit and light peppery spice to the beer. Whereas I didn't see that for the Duvel. The Duvel is described as maybe having grapefruit flavor and high carbonation. And I can see that it does appear highly carbonated. Well, I've had this before, Duvel. Although I don't remember what it tastes like or what I thought, I do remember I thought it was decent, pretty good. I enjoyed it. It's quite bitter up front. It's got quite a bite up front, quite a tangy flavor, maybe even a grapefruit type flavor, or at least something similar. If somebody said to me this beer has grapefruit notes in it, I would say I can see that. But it quickly gives away to its strength. This is a devil of a beer. Duvel means devil in the Flemish language. And it got its name, apparently, from a taster in the 1920s, as the story goes, who, after trying the beer, said this is a devil of a beer. And I guess the name stuck, so they called it Duvel. Belgian Strong Blonde. Specialty beer. The original. Now, let's try the Cigar City out of Tampa, Florida, Cosmic Crown. Let's see if this brewery can make a decent Belgian Strong Pale Ale. So it's supposed to be a bit spicy, peppery spice, and I can pick that up. The passion fruit, I'm really not sure what passion fruit tastes like, but there is some kind of fruitiness to this. And peach. If I'm looking for peach, yeah, then I can pick it out. If I didn't already read in advance that there was passion fruit and peach type of flavors in there, I probably wouldn't have picked it up. As far as the feel, of course, this one feels much more carbonated. It has much more of an initial bite going in, and that carbonation stays with it all the way to the finish. And the bitterness comes on too. In the end, it kind of builds. There's quite a bit of bitterness up front, but it gets a little bit stronger all the way up to the finish. This one has bitterness too, but the bitterness has a nicer flavor to it. I think that whatever these galaxy hops that they say are used kind of gives it that flavor, which is kind of nice. Instead of searching for gold hidden among the galaxy, where thought we've brought galaxy hops to this strong golden head Belgian style ale to add notes of passion fruit and peach to the profile, making the beer out of this world and fit for a king. These beers, I think, might take some getting used to. I'm not used to them. I'm used to lagers or even IPAs, but these are pretty different. I think if you were to drink these beers often and then switch to lagers or pilsners, you're going to think that those lagers and pilsners are weak and watery in comparison. because these have bite. The carbonation in the mouth is something that you can't get past, that you just can't ignore. So I guess the main difference between these two is the passion fruit and peach flavors that this one has, even though they're not really out there and in your face. If you're looking for them, if you, like I, have read in advance that they have passion fruit and peach flavors in there, then you might pick that up. Whereas this one, the Duvel, one of the descriptions mentioned grapefruit. And since I'm looking for it, yeah, I can detect hints of grapefruit in there. But I would speculate that neither of these beers have any real fruits in them. It's just the flavors are produced by the hops used and the brewing methods, and as well as the malted barley and other ingredients, yeast or whatever, but probably mostly due to the hops. But I've said this many times before, I'm not an expert when it comes to beer. Despite me drinking beer all my life and doing beer comparisons for quite some time now, I think one of my first beer comparison videos goes back to 2014 or 2015, so I think I've been comparing beers for 10 years, although not consistently, not regularly. You would think that I would be an expert in beer, but I don't consider myself an expert in beer. I do know a lot of history of certain beers. I try to learn something about each beer that I try. Sometimes before I make the video, sometimes before I edit the video and I put notes in the video that appear on the screen, either at the beginning or at the end or somewhere. So the information that I provided for these beers probably be at the beginning of the video is already gone. But I don't think that I'll be adding any other text to this video, because I've pretty much said everything that I thought is relevant. But if during the editing process I find some relevant information that I thought should be added, I'll add it. This carbonation can give you a lot of burps or gas. So, which one do I think is better? Which one would I drink if I had to choose one to drink for the rest of my life? It's pretty good. I could get used to that, I think. And I think that drinking this consistently and then switching to another beer, I'll probably look at that other beer and think, oh, it's weak. But what about this one? The fruity type flavors in here kind of make me, it brings maltiness to mind. Maltiness of fest beer or Wiesen beer, such as Hofbräu. It's quite malty. It's got some of that maltiness in there, and that I think those fruity flavors kind of resemble. So they say it uses Galaxy hops, which I'm not familiar with. I'm not really familiar with the types of flavors that the various different types of malts or the hops produce, such as Saaz hops from Czech or Hallertauer. There are more than one Hallertauer hop. But I believe that when a beer says it has Hallertauer Hallertauer hops in it. It's from that region because there are more than one different type of Hallertauer hop that I read. And I don't even know what are all the noble hops. Saaz is one, which I've been pronouncing wrong in previous videos. It's not S-A-A-S, but it is S-A-A-Z. And in German, that spells Saaz, because the S makes a Z sound and the Z makes a TS sound. Saaz. I always like to try to get my pronunciations correct. I had to look up and make sure that I was pronouncing Duvel correctly before I made this video. Because you might be tempted to pronounce it Duvel, and that's not correct, or Duvel, or whatever. Who knows how English